Sixth graders, welcome to Section 9.4, Measures of Variation Activity. Pause while you write Section 9.4 activity in your math notebook. Pause again while you write today's activity objective in your math notebook. Today's objective is understand how to describe the spread of a set of data. Copy the following key terms, definitions, and examples exactly as they appear into your math notebook. Measure of variation. A measure that describes the distribution of a data set. The range, interquartile range, and mean absolute deviation are all measures of variation. Range of a data set. The difference between the greatest value and the least value of a data set. Continue copying these key terms, definitions, and examples exactly as they appear into your math notebook. Quartiles. The quartiles of a data set divide the data into 4 equal parts. The first quartile, Q1, the median of the lower half of a data set. Third quartile, Q3, is the median of the upper half of a data set. The interquartile range, IQR, is the difference between the third quartile and the first quartile of a data set. It represents the range of the middle half of the data. Today we'll begin our activity on page 211 in your Record and Practice Journal. Interpreting statements. Work with a partner. I'm your partner. There are 24 students in your class. Your teacher makes the following statements. The exam scores range from 75% to 96%. Most of the students received high scores. What do you think the first statement means? And explain. So we can tell that our first statement means that the lowest score is 75% and the highest score is 96%. In the first statement, is your teacher describing the center of the data set? If not, what do you think your teacher is describing? And since the teacher is saying that the scores are at 75% at the lowest and 96% at the highest, that's not the middle. Those scores are at the ends. So that would be the range of scores or how the scores are spread out. Letter C asks, what do you think the scores are for most of the students in the class? And explain your reasoning. So if we look back up at the two statements that our teacher said, he or she said most of the students received high scores. And since the exam scores ranged from 75 to 96%, we can guess that most of the students' scores were about 90 to 96% because that would be a high score. So we can say that they were about 90 to 96% because of the second statement. Your assignment for this lesson is going to be to create the dot plot, and you need to write exam scores, and you need to write in parentheses the word percent, and then you are going to fill in the numbers on the number line, and you are going to fill in some dots. So since there are 24 students in the class, you need to have 24 dots on your dot plot, and they should be clustered around 90 to 96%. The lowest should be 75, and the highest should be 96. There is not one right answer for this, but they should have those parameters. Your assignment for this lesson is to complete Part D of Activity 1 on page 211 of your Record and Practice Journal. Be prepared to share during our next class. Please remember, to earn credit for viewing this flipped lesson, you must complete your exit slip, Come to our next class prepared with the journal pages or other work from the flipped lesson completed, and be prepared with any work that was assigned in the flipped lesson completed. Be prepared with any questions you have for the teacher, and always have a good attitude. We'll see you next time in class.